What's happening? So, I've been gone for a while. A good while. But I figured why not come out and talk about the really fucked up situation between the community and the industry, and the industry of gaming. Because it's so weird right now. The community hates anything going on with gaming. Like, Xbox has had a horrible showcase. PlayStation has wasted 2.5 hours of everybody's fucking life and don't look to be slowing down anytime soon. And then you have people mad that Nintendo came out and gave you a YouTube video length of coming soon titles. Out of every single fucking company, people are mad at the one company that actually showed video games coming to the platform. Like, you were mad at Xbox for not doing that. You were mad at PlayStation for not doing that. Nintendo does it. Granted, it's a short video. And you're mad that that's what they did. You're mad they just gave you what you were asking for. But I get it. You were mad it was Nintendo that did it and not Xbox and not PlayStation. Look. I don't really give a damn about the next Xbox. I don't really give a fuck about the next PlayStation. Because Nintendo has full advantage right here to become the most dominant force in gaming again. If Nintendo really takes into consideration that if we remove two technicalities, Nintendo portably owns gaming. Portably. Not only do they own gaming portably, but gaming is portably dominated because of it. Now you might be saying, how in the fuck do you figure that? The highest selling console is the PlayStation 2 at 155 plus million units sold. Yes. And then coming in second place is what? The Nintendo DS. Not the 3DS, the regular DS. Okay? Now, that comes in at number 2 because it's literally barely a million lower. You dig what I'm saying? Barely even a million lower than the PS2. So that is how close it is. But there's a technicality here, and this is why. If we go off of the DS brand, the DS brand has sold close to 225 million units with the DS, the dual screen brand. That means the 3DS, the DS, the DSi, the DSXL, the 2DS, all the DSs combined together under the brand dual screen have sold over 200 million, making Nintendo's handheld DS brand handheld the number one selling of all. Do you understand that? Can you comprehend that? Can you comprehend that it's even a technicality that the PS2 sold 155 million because of the simple fact it was the cheapest way to afford a DVD player when it was the hottest commodity on the market? That's something a lot of people don't like to bring up because, again, these are things that if these technicalities were not there because of the community, would rewrite a lot of what's going on in gaming right now. Think about that. If we would have taken this serious, if we would have literally not had the technicalities by the DS, with the counting the 3DS as a whole generation rather than a generation's refresh, then again, it's not only outsold the PS2, it sold it out by over 50 million. Think about that. PS2 no longer holds the highest selling console in gaming. Sony is second place to Nintendo because of these technicalities. If these technicalities were not in place, for real, could you handle portable gaming being the #1 form of gaming? Remember, Sony said there was no handheld community. I'm just going to point that out one more again. Sony said current generation that we're in now, the company who killed their own handheld, the PS Vita, yes, Sony, you are solely responsible for that, not the people who went out and purchased the damn thing, because you couldn't fucking figure out prioritizing memory cards that were already obsolete when they came out was a bad business move. That's something you can't figure out, and why I constantly call you stupid. Seriously, a company who makes fucking electronics can't figure out if the fucking electronic is obsolete by the time it gets to the fucking customer. It should not be premium cost. Sony, you are forever marked as a fucking incompetent sack of shit in my book for that. This whole idea that Sony is incapable of actually doing anything other than selling PlayStation at this time is not even a false statement. They've had multiple fucking things happen in the Sony fucking family, in the PlayStation brand alone, that if Sony would have backed just a little bit, would have had a hell of a lot bigger impact, would have actually seen some fucking money being made. Christ, Sony, do you really not understand how bad it is to have the install base and adoption rate that you have, to only then turn around and realize that your subscription versus people who bought is a joke? Is it really that hard to figure out why when it comes to the online battle, you're in third fucking place? Because you are really incompetent. Alright? Yes, Xbox goes out as well. But there is no reason why Sony, who invented streaming games, yes, Sony came with that first, not Google Stadia, but Sony. Again, an idea Sony came up with, Google ran with, and has been failing with because Sony didn't think to actually put in the time and effort to make it something. And again, because it's Sony and it's digital, they gotta fuck it 7 ways from Sunday and make sure that you don't want to give them any fucking money. I'm just saying things that you can turn your PlayStation on right now and fucking physically see. Okay? So, when the PS5 comes out, I'm not expecting a lot. PlayStation has been fucking up this generation since 2016. 2016 was the end of the amazing PlayStation run. It just was. PlayStation started losing when it came to monthly ends and halted when the fucking Switch came out. It started losing in 2016 to Xbox and started getting dominated by Nintendo in 2017. It was a downward spiral since then, and if you disagree because your preferred system is PlayStation, please just calm down, okay? Because I love Nintendo, but the Wii U was a fucking failure. The Wii U could have been great, and the launch for it was amazing what we were supposed to have that we saw at E3 before it came out. Man, that was amazing. It's sad that we didn't get that. But again, Nintendo was starting to focus more handheld wise. We had a great 3DS life cycle. The DS brand overall has become what Nintendo has been focused on, which is portable gaming. Okay? Meaning where Xbox wants to still sell you a fucking plastic box for some damn reason. I don't know why. But where they want to sell you a plastic box, Nintendo's like, I mean, we'll give you a tablet with like 2 controllers on the ends and go out. Which gives them an opportunity here to really dominate if they just upgrade the tablet. You see what I'm saying? If you upgrade that tablet, then, I mean, you could be pushing 4K graphics. Tablets can push 4K easy. So if Nintendo wanted to come out with a more powerful tablet that's the same size as the one that we have now and make the Joy-Cons more stable and be like, here's the Switch Pro, if you will, or the Switch Powerhouse or Nintendo Power Switch or whatever, PlayStation would be looking at a serious fucking problem. Xbox would be really looking at a what are we going to do here situation. Because Xbox doesn't have portability. They have xCloud. But again, it's not even a full-fledged thing yet. And Xbox is right now having some PR problems. And between the system and Halo, which is kind of the reason people buy an Xbox right now. And Phil, just so you're aware, Gears is not going to carry this new Xbox. Halo is not going to carry this new fucking Xbox because first-person shooters and shooters are kind of on the way fucking out. Unless your name is Fortnite, people really don't give 2 fucks, okay? And for people who are like, well, you know, the Switch can't do all this. Look, The Witcher 3 is on the Switch. Doom 2016 is on the Switch. I don't know where the fuck Eternal is. That's kind of gone into hiatus. Bethesda, I'm looking dead at you. Fuck you. Okay? Excuse me. There's a lot of current gen content that is on Nintendo Switch in its piss poor power state now. So I could just imagine how much better it would be if it got a facelift and came out with a tablet that was able to do 1080 easy in portable mode. Meaning 1080 60 easy, meaning 1080p 60 frames easy. Could you imagine Nintendo's first party IPs pulling 1080p 60 easy and then third party content coming and doing the exact same? And by the way, while I'm talking about companies with content, Capcom, fuck you still. Fuck you still. Fuck you still. Capcom, what the literal fuck, man? You came into this current generation understanding your fucking place, which was, we're here, but I mean, as long as we don't make too much noise, we'll be okay. Every single fucking game you've released this gen that is actually a current gen game like Street Fighter V or Resident Evil 7 has been a financial failure to the company. What in the fuck are you doing? Seriously. You backed PlayStation again and it cost you. Think about that. You backed PlayStation again and it cost you. Nintendo has saved you twice already. The GameCube was where you released Resident Evil 4, which was one of the greatest received Resident Evil games ever, but it started on Nintendo. The copy of Resident Evil everyone's playing right now, who's playing Resident Evil on the PS4, Xbox One, or even the Nintendo Switch, is playing an updated version of the fucking GameCube version of the game. You're not playing PlayStation's version of the game. Go buy a PS1 and buy a PlayStation 1 physical version of Resident Evil 1 and tell me that's the same fucking game. It's not. You're playing the GameCube version. Alright? So, you've literally been surviving, Capcom, off of Nintendo. GameCube, Resident Evil 1 is the version everyone's playing if you're playing it right now on any console. Unless you're playing it on a PlayStation and you purposely bought the PlayStation 1 little box art picture version of the game, you're playing the GameCube version. Do you understand? That's the version you're playing with the updated graphics, okay? Now, again, Resident Evil 4 started on GameCube and was ported over to the PS2. Alright? PlayStation had nothing to do with Capcom's Resident Evil resurgence. PlayStation has zero to do with it. There's no Resident Evil games on a PlayStation handheld, folks. Think about that. Nintendo DS has PlayStation 1 version of Resident Evil 1 on the DS. It's fucking weird. How come that's not on the PSP or the PS Vita? I mean, without the help of the fucking PlayStation Store, why in the hell is that? Why come there's no physical content for Resident Evil on PlayStation, but for some reason Capcom, you keep sucking their dick. You keep fucking running back to PlayStation hoping to God they're going to do something for you. They never have. You came out strong on PlayStation. Good job. But Nintendo has been carrying your fucking ass for a long time. You, like I said earlier, you came into this generation strong, but you were doing absolutely jack dick current generation. You were re-releasing everything from the fucking past. Street Fighter 2 has seen its umpteenth fucking return 4 times this generation. 4 times. You released a Street Fighter 5 that has been the worst received Street Fighter ever because for some reason you thought at launch the best way to do this was with no campaign of all things. And Street Fighter 5 might be a good game in 2020, but guess what? There hasn't been a resurface in popularity and nobody's fucking talking about it. Failure to me. I'm just saying. It's an IP, and Street Fighter 2's had more people invest in it than the 5th one has. And guess what? You, again, exclusively went to PlayStation for some reason. You put all your fucking ducks into PlayStation VR with Resident Evil 7. And VR for PlayStation really hit a rock at launch, and Resident Evil 7 drowned with it. Okay? You can debate that all you want to, but even Capcom came out and said Resident Evil 7 was a financial failure for the company. Resident Evil hasn't made Capcom shit. I mean, hell, even Revelations started on Nintendo. Revelations started on Nintendo. And Nintendo didn't even get the second one until the Switch. Think about that. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is probably the worst one. And people like to sit there and be like, oh, it's underrated. You know, people didn't give it its fair shot. I've been playing this game. You know how people like to complain about Destiny rehashing the same shit every time you go to the same location? Capcom Infinite, you know, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, where do you think they got the idea from? Seriously. That game is literally fighting drones more times than need be. So much so that when I'm sitting here playing with a friend of mine, I'm like, is it me or did I already have to fight like a wave of drones like 3 matches ago? And she's even going, yeah, I noticed that. You're having to fight a lot of drones. And Infinite is a big game. It's got 30 plus characters. Why the hell is there so many drone battles? Capcom, you are running out of fucking gas, and it is apparent. It is fucking apparent. You have nothing left. At this point, the only Mega Mans you have to re-release are Legends 1 and Legends 2. You've re-released every Mega Man game you can think of. What's carrying you right now? Resident Evil or Mega Man? Because it for sure ain't Street Fighter. Street Fighter carrying you at this point is laughable. You haven't had a successful hit this generation. Your last successful hit came out a few generations ago. Feel me? So, please bow the fuck out and get the hell out the way, or stay in your fucking lane and charge $20 for these re-releases. And deep discounts on fire sale at $7.25. Fucking stick to that lane, because it seems like you're not good for anything else. Because, again, it's documented when I got my PS4 how much I loved Capcom, because they were understanding that nobody's going to pay over $20 for some shit that came out 3 generations ago. Do you understand? I gave you all the credit in the world. What the fuck have you been doing recently other than pissing me off because I'm on Nintendo Switch and you're overcharging me? See what I'm saying? So, all that. Welcome back, man. 2020 has been a monster. It's been crazy. I haven't done a hell of a lot because of it. I've been staying busy. I've been working constantly because of my job being a essential job. But that being said, my Twitch is where I'm streaming now. I'm always on there. You can go. I just did a like 2.5, 3 hour Halo 5 stream that's up now. Again, that's on my Twitch. I will link it below. Anyway, let me know what you guys think, man. What do you guys think about everything going on, man? PlayStation 5, are you getting one? Do you give a damn about it? Are you just like, this is a lot of drama for God knows what? Xbox, are you excited for that? Or is it just, do I really need to buy that? Although xCloud, I'm giving you props on that. What do you think about PlayStation View? What are your thoughts on that, man? Let me know. What do you think about the Switch and that tablet and the potential of the tablet? Any of that, man. Anything we talked about, let me know that. Let me know down below, and I will talk to you guys again soon. I'm not going to be going away that long anymore. It's just been really kind of crazy. And I'll talk to you guys again.